We are live.
Hello.
Hello. Happy
Yeah.
Friday. Hi,
Happy
Stefania.
Fridays. Fun Fresh Fridays. We're here.
Woohoo. Yes. I missed
We
you.
made it.
I missed you.
I missed you too. How was
Yeah.
your weekend away?
Oh, God. It was cold.
I saw some of the snapshot photos you put up, you shared,
Yeah.
and I thought, oh, that looks like a bit of a road trip.
Yes, it was. It was 6 hours one
Wow.
way. But no, it was good. It was really good. It was cold. It was really cold. I still have some pictures, but I haven't posted it yet. But yeah.
Colder than where you are now, obviously.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We were full on jacket, gloves, scarf, hat. Yeah.
Freezing. I'm glad I'm not there.
Yeah. It was
And
cold, but it
this
was
was in New York.
beautiful.
New
Hmm?
York? New Jersey? I
Yes.
don't know, where did you go?
New York.
New
Not
York,
New Jersey.
not New Jersey.
Yeah. New York.
Good.
Allegheny State Park. Yeah. So it was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
Good
So,
for you.
but
Good
I
for you.
didn't miss. It was a good getaway. It was a really good getaway. The kids had fun. The cousins, Kazi was like, "Yeah, I don't want to be with you."
I don't wanna be with you.
Yeah, we're going to the. I'm staying, playing with my cut. Yeah, go right ahead. Have fun. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
so you had a good time.
yeah, are we? Hold on. So yeah. So how was your weekend?
Yeah, I had a pretty lazy weekend. I took advantage and took my mum to the Saturday market here. Well,
Mm-hmm.
about a 30-minute drive from where I live. The Dandenong Market, my old stomping ground.
Oh.
Excuse me, when I was young, and it was really nice. It's an everything market where they have fruit and veg and meats and everything together with other bits and pieces, clothes, bags, what markets usually have, and it's
Mhm.
undercover, so they've really vamped it up. It's not like it used to be out in the open, and I love markets. I love you know going through crowds and buying things and checking things out.
Yeah.
We had um, we had coffee and we didn't buy dessert and stuff, but there's this one stall that sells all the nuts and dry foods and dried figs and dried this, dried that. So we had an assortment of things. Yeah, it was nice with our coffee.
Oh,
Healthy.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really good. It was just nice. So yeah, it was different. It felt like, oh, Saturday.
Mm,
No fun fresh Friday. So
I know.
be back. Nice to be back.
I know.
I
That
hope you
was.
all missed us last week, everyone that
I
follows
hope
our
so.
audience, because we
I hope.
missed you too.
I hope so. Yeah. So
So today we are talking.
today, hmm I've been hearing this word, gaslight, gaslighting. I was gaslit. Um, too often, and I couldn't. I couldn't grasp the meaning. So I kept on asking, what does gaslight mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? So Jeff tried to tell me, and I've heard different terminal or different interpretations of it. Um, and then come to find out, it came from the movie in 1944.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes. So it came from the movie in 1944, and the title of the movie is Gaslight.
Really?
Yes.
So there's a movie out there that's called Gaslight.
Yes. Back
Oh.
in 1944, where the husband
Mm.
changed the setting, changed everything to make his wife believe that she was insane.
Wow.
That's where the terminology
Gaslight.
Gaslight came from.
There
Yeah,
you go.
did not know that. I was like, oh, that
Wow.
that is
That's
a ultimate manipulation.
a big time. And he obviously succeeded for a period, obviously. I'm sure there was a plot to it.
Yeah, there was a plot, but I never seen the movie. I haven't
Right.
seen the movie. I didn't want to see it yet. I don't know if it's available or not. But
Uh-huh.
um but yeah, that's what I found out
There you go.
where it came
Well,
from.
that makes sense when people say they've, well, depends on when they say it and what they say it for, as to you're gaslighting me, I just got gaslit, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Some people may not really know they're using that term and whether they're using it for the right, reason.
Yeah. And it's and I did my research when I was doing my research when I was doing
So I'm sure you found out more stuff, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I found myself gaslighting people. Yes.
Unintentionally.
Unintentionally.
Or maybe I've been doing
Uninten-
it.
Unintentionally, but yet when I look back as to when I said it and to whom I said it to,
Yeah.
it made sense.
Wow.
It made sense that yeah, I was gaslighting this individual.
Hmm.
Not
But could it
knowing.
be seen as you are gaslighting or that you were maybe in protection mode or, like,
No.
no, you were.
It was full on
Give us
gaslighting.
an example. Can you share what went on?
Um so I have this roommate. It was a while back, and she's we're in the military. We're single, we're in the military, and she's overweight.
Mhm.
She she was overweight.
Right.
So I gave her some tips as to, because when you're overweight, when you're over the weight limit, then they have to measure your body mass index. And then they'll do the tape measuring. So once
Mm,
they do the tape measuring, then they'll decide whether you're going to go on this program or they're just going to kick you out of the military for being unfit.
mm.
So gave her some tips of preparation H. There's this, this medicine that is supposed to be for somewhere else to to reduce the swelling.
Mhm.
And when you put it all over your body and put saran wrap, you lose 1.5 to 2 inches
Right, which is
o-
fluids, obviously.
overnight.
Overnight. Wow.
Overnight. So I was doing that. I was giving her some tips, and because I didn't want to do it, and I got tired of, giving this quick remedy so she can pass, I was getting tired. I was just like, you know what? Um, no. Uh, so she wanted to do it again, and I was like, no. You're just too.
Didn't, did you?
Oh, that was not nice of me. That
No.
was not nice of me. But because of my intention was, to just have her to just quit. I just wanted what I wanted to do. That was my because of my frustration. She was lazy in getting up and doing exercise with us. I mean, she would get up. You have to get up and do exercise in the military, no matter what. But she struggles. She'll walk, and then after that, she'll smoke a cigarette.
Mm. Oh, were they
Y-
allowed to smoke while in
Yeah, back
service?
back into. See, I'm telling on myself. I'm telling on
Okay.
myself now. Yeah, we used to, yeah, we were they even have matches in our MRE packets. Yeah. So and she wasn't doing anything to make it better. So I just told her, you might as well just give up. You're just too lazy. You're too dramatic when it comes to all of this. You get too emotional every time we. Yeah, I was gaslighting her, and I didn't know until I started doing some research.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's the intention. So it's the intention behind, um, and actually it's emotional abuse because you're trying to make that person so emotionally,
unstable.
um, yeah, emotionally unstable to the
Mm,
point to where it affects their mental. And then once it affects their mental, then it becomes physical. So yeah, it's a stage process when people are gaslighting. Uh,
mm.
yeah, yeah. I didn't know that I was gaslighting back in the day, but I don't do that now. So, and I'm careful as to what I
I'm
say
su
because now I'm understanding other people.
Right. You've done the work on yourself. You've
Yeah.
journeyed, gone through the steps, and of course, that's what you do when you evolve and grow and learn. And so let's look at it from the person that's being gaslighted
Hmm.
or has been gaslit, and
Oh, I
may
was on
still.
the receiving side as well.
Right. Okay, I'm sure you were, right? So what are the, like, we know that the consequences are that it makes you emotionally unstable. We also know that after, continuous, repetitious, you know, gaslighting or receiving,
Hmm.
it creates some kind of mental disturbance,
Hmm.
and then it turns into a physical, um, aligning
Yeah.
dis-ease in the body, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It manifests itself in a physical action. Yeah.
Physical action.
So it becomes like a someone who becomes intimidated.
Mhm.
So now they don't want to be around people because their self-esteem has been tarnished or damaged, or they don't have that self-confidence anymore. um, and then the depression sets in. So the physical aspect of it is that they don't want to be seen anywhere, because even though they people see them as beautiful,
Mm,
they see themselves as ugly.
mm.
Yeah, so the physical actions are, oh, no, I can't go out there, or I can't speak, or I can't do, the live. I can't do this because I'm not. Yeah, that's the
Good
breakdown.
enough. I'm not. You're well, those triggers keep getting fired up in your subconscious mind
Right.
because you're thinking about what was said, what you endured, the trauma you went through.
Yeah.
That it's very vivid daily. I can
Very.
understand.
Yeah.
We live it. We can still relive what happened 20 years ago very actively and vividly in our minds right now.
Right.
But
Right.
because the subconscious doesn't know between times when it happened, when it didn't happen.
No, your brain has no sense of time.
Mhm.
It's not bound by time. It doesn't know. So 20 years ago, a remembrance can come, and it feels like as if it's today.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I mean, I knew that part, but the fact that, how we can be gaslighting and not even know about it, um,
Right. Hmm.
that's pretty powerful stuff, isn't it? That's really,
Hmm. Yeah. Seems like I need to work on my words as well. I can relate to in doing gaslighting. Yeah. Sometimes you just don't know that you're gaslighting people until you're exposed to it, especially if there's an intention.
right.
There's an intention behind those things.
So
So
my
do you,
question was,
mhm,
sorry,
go
yeah,
ahead.
let me go on.
Yeah.
So as being on the receiving end, what can one do, right, to navigate through these type of gaslighting scenarios, experiences? Like, obviously, we feel something, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
something we feel when that happens. We may
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily know we're being gaslit, but we know we've been hurt,
Right.
right? We may know we'll feel that we've been rejected, abandoned, hurt, whatever, put down, squashed.
Whoa. Right. So, so the first thing to do is to really acknowledge that you're being gaslit.
Mhm.
That's number one. Because if you don't understand it, or if you don't know it, or if you don't know what's going on, you cannot prevent it, or you cannot do anything about it. You just can't. So when somebody says, "Oh, you're too dramatic," what do you mean by that? Push it back on the person. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by I'm too dramatic? Am I too dramatic? So because of what? I'm not wanting to do what you want me to do. So turn the tables around. So once you understand that you're being gaslit, um, you know, uh, before, okay, this is what I was talking to one of my friends. I said, I'm not very familiar with the word gaslight or gaslighting or gaslit. I just see it as people being mean. Bottom line, just people being mean.
Right,
Um, and so, but when I started to do the research of gaslighting and mean, gaslighting has a motive to tear the person down,
right,
to be able to manipulate them to their agenda. Being mean means that you just don't have any manners, you weren't taught very well. There's a whole bunch of other stuff of being mean.
right,
Being mean is selfish, I'm just going to make you feel bad so that I can feel good. But they're not manipulating, they're not turning things around. um, so there is a difference, there's a huge difference. Yeah. Before I just thought people are mean. No, it's being gaslit. um, so one is to recognize it, acknowledge that either the individual is gaslighting you and you push it back on them. Push it back.
by
Or,
asking. Mhm.
yeah, or avoid it.
Avoid it.
Yeah, don't
What
answer.
Don't answer, just watch it play out.
Yeah, yeah, don't answer.
More fireworks possibly, but it's okay. It's just whatever you don't put your attention to won't affect you, right?
Right, because it takes two people to argue. It's hard to argue by yourself.
Right, because sometimes people will be in that situation of being gaslit. So then they'll say, "You're gaslighting me. I know what you're doing. You're gaslighting me. You're blah, blah, blah. You're a so and
And
so."
then
So you're
here's 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 the
created.
here's the manipulative other word or other phrase of gaslighting is
Mm,
that, oh no, you're misinterpreting what I'm saying.
of course. Yes.
That's another phrase of people
Gas-
who gaslight.
So you say, "Well, what do you mean?" Right?
Right,
What do you
right.
mean?
What do you mean? Yeah, that's my go-to question. What do you mean by that? I want you to
Please
make it
explain.
clear for me. Let me not assume what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
you tell me what you're saying
And I
because
think that's a really good question everyone can really apply,
yeah,
whether you're in a gaslighting situation or not, because you can definitely misinterpret what's being said,
right.
or your own internal representation, your own filters might be kicking in and
Hmm.
may just, you know, unconsciously, unintentionally or intentionally, depending where you're at, um, delete, distort, or generalize. So that means, so yeah, that question is so, so important. And I think we should um, use it, incorporate it in our everyday dialogue when we're not really clear on something,
Yeah.
rather than thinking, well, that's what it seems like to me. But what it seems like to you may be totally different to what they've been said, be what has been said. And I would assume the person that's doing the gaslighting, when you start interrogating them and asking them, they're going to kind of get a bit
Oh,
thrown out
yeah.
because usually they're the ones throwing the orders around or questions
Right.
that are like being interrogated. Was
No. It's almost like a magician, and the magician does something and you're like, "Oh, yeah, it was under your sleeve. Oh, you have a fake thumb." You you know, so it's almost like that. It's like a magician doing all of these tricks, and you're
mm,
like, "Oh, you got it from the. Oh, this is how you did it."
mm,
So yeah, and then the magician, of course, will be upset. Who told you? Who told you? How you know this? That's their internal, dialogue that's going on. How did you know that I'm doing this? So of course they're gonna get mad because they want to dazzle you. They want to trick you into what they want you to see.
and believe.
Hmm. And believe.
And
Yeah.
believe, right?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And it's the magicians call it a sleight of hand. So while this one is doing something, this one is creating something because you're paying attention to this. You're not paying attention to this. So that's what's happening. The person who is gaslighting is saying this so you won't pay attention to the intention or what
Correct.
they're trying to do.
So they are great magicians.
Yes. Good evening, Anitra. Welcome.
Hello, Anitra.
Yeah, they're very good at a sleight of hand or um, an illusion, creating an illusion that you will believe.
Mm,
That's what people that gaslight do. They will create this illusion, this fantasy, not fantasy because fantasy, we all know fantasy doesn't, but it's an illusion. It's like a mirage. You're seeing it and you know you're seeing it, and then all of a sudden you're caught up in whatever it is. Yeah,
yeah.
you're caught up. You're caught
Yeah.
up. You start believing you're a mean person. You start believing that you are no good. You start believing that, well, maybe I was imagining things.
Yeah. Oh, that's really sad, isn't it? And there's
Yeah.
a lot of us out there walking around like that, Zanetta. A
Oh,
lot.
oh yeah.
And then they say, oh, you have a mental illness. You're bipolar. You're schizophrenic. You go like, they'll go into all these. And really, in some cases, not all, some cases people don't have that severe
Yeah.
disease. They are actually being after repetitive um, incidences, or I guess being in that environment of
Mm-hmm.
listening and being brainwashed, because that's what it is. It's a form of hypnosis
It is.
because
It is.
training
It's
the
because the
brain.
movie, the movie 19 Gaslight
Yeah,
was like that. The husband kept on doing it repetitively and
right,
continued on and on and on until the wife started believing she was insane.
right. See, well, that's what I tell people when we talk about hypnosis. You know, it can be used for good and it can be used for bad. Like what's the intention of the person now? Whether and you've studied hypnosis and you've gone in depths of being, becoming a therapist like myself, we still have hypnotic tendencies, whether we know it or not.
Hmm.
We can behave in ways to hypnotize people, just like what you're, expressing now with repetition, repeated. We do it to our children, we do it to our spouses, we do it to our friends, we do it to ourselves. We are
Mm-hmm.
constantly repeating, repeating. So when we want to, you know, reprogram the mind, that's where we have to recondition, rephrase, reframe, and restructure our words
Yes.
to what outcome we want.
Right.
Because obviously the outcome that we've been conditioned to think and say and words to ourselves has not been working for us or has not been serving us well, or
Right.
could be quite negative and be detrimental to our bodies and life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's the same thing broken
Yeah.
down in a nutshell.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever, used the terminology or said, um, you know, I, I'll make it. I'll get over it.
Yeah,
So those are um, the repetitious words or phrases that other people have said for so long that we are now saying it ourselves.
right,
You know, yeah, I'll make it instead of saying I'm making it.
right.
There's a rephrase and there's a reframe rather than saying I'll make it. Make it where? Make what are you doing? I'll make it or I'll
So it's
get over it.
mm,
Yeah, I'll get over it. Oh, I'm forgetting it now. So there's a whole bunch of reframing, rephrasing that needs to be done because we've been so trained back, as to what others were saying. Um, like even with compliments, don't accept no compliments. That's just what do they call it? That's just so arrogant of you.
yeah.
That's so high-minded of you. You don't say thank you. You don't say, oh no, no, you just, oh no, this old dress.
Oh, I got this at the Kmart. It's like it's not that.
Right? Oh, this is a Walmart. You didn't know that? It's a compliment. It's a beautiful dress.
Mhm.
You just downplayed what was being a beautiful thing into a pattern of gaslighting
Yourself.
back in the day that it's manifesting today.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
yes, there is a form of brainwashing because it's repetitive, repetitive, repetitive. Um, or, oh, she's just a problem child. Oh, just a problem. That's
Uh-huh.
why I despise it when mothers call their children um, what is it? It's a good thing I haven't heard it because I haven't been around moms that have little children. Oh, he's just a terror. Yeah, there you go. Oh,
Or
he's just a terror.
the horrible twos.
Yeah, terrible twos. Yeah, yeah. No, 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 not at all. What about the terrific twos? My babies are going to be terrific when they're two. Because I never had that. I never had that issue with.
Or and when we're going on about numbers now, the 7-year itch in relationships
There you
or,
go.
you
You
know?
are not a success until you pass 7 years.
Right, and even then you're coming close, something's gonna happen. 7-year
Right? Yeah.
itch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're
So there's so
mhm,
many things that we have been a victim of gaslighting, not even knowing it. And we're manifesting it today.
correct, with our words. The power of words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, yeah.
It's
It's unbelievable, really.
I know it's like, oh my God, what else? What else have I been brainwashed? Or you'll never amount to anything.
Yeah,
Because those are oh, you're stupid, you're dumb. These are just I mean sometimes it's a playful word, which I don't think is ever playful to call anybody dumb. Um, but if you open your mouth and remove all doubt, then no, no.
Uh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to put, some fun stuff in here. But
yes.
no, you know, each of us have a genius, and I had to learn that. I had to learn that, uh, from where I was always competitive, always wanting to be on top. And the reason why I did it was because I wanted attention. Hey, I have a smart cookie here. You're not paying attention to this smart cookie. You're paying attention to the stale cookie. you're you're paying attention to the damaged cookies. I'm a
Mm,
smart cookie. Yeah,
mm,
so that's why I was always like an overachiever. I still am. I still am an overachiever. This because of what was said in the past.
mm.
Yeah.
So, it's true. You're constantly working on those issues. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
how long ago or how old you are,
Hmm.
you can quite easily fall back into those patterns if you are unconscious. And that's why they say that, we need to really tap into the conscious every day and be very
Hmm.
conscious of yourself, what you
Yes.
think, what you say, how you do things, how you know, and it really is important. And I'm doing a lot of that myself, even with self care, for example. We were talking about that the other day, where I do self care, like, me, I'm just like super fit, go to the gym, eat well, and get up 4 in the morning, do this, do that. And I don't have a rest, I don't. And that's the problem. That's not self care. It's like I'm I'm running on adrenaline, like I'm really taking the needle way over than I should.
Hmm.
Self-care now is, slow down, take some walks outside, have a nap, have a massage
Yeah.
regularly, have a bath, you know, say nice things to myself,
Yes.
you know, tell
Yes.
yourself you love yourself.
Yeah.
So important. And loving the parts of your body.
Yeah, it is. I was I sent my, my report to the director, and um so then she emailed me back and said, well, this person is now going to take a look at, your reports. And the first thing I told her was that you're a fantastic investigator. And here goes the results of being gaslit along for a long time. Fantastic. What's so fantastic about me? I, you know, uh, so I responded with, "Oh, I'm sorry. I need to give props where props are to be given. I heard your voice that said, Zanetta, accept the compliment." I said, okay. And here's my behavior. My behavior is, thank you so much. I really appreciate that comment. But here comes the but. But
But
I always wondered if I'm doing enough. And she said, trust me,
you are.
you are. So that I kind of like, okay, let it sink in, let it just come in and just, because that's the stress that I've been having because of these cases, because I'm thinking, have I done enough? Do I need to do more? It seems like I'm not doing enough. But then here she comes with, yes, you are. You're doing fantastic. So that kind of relaxed me um, a little bit more. And I was able, because of that relaxation, I wasn't saying, well, I need to do this and this has to be perfect and I was I was able to submit it right away.
Mm.
Yeah. So that was
Wow.
like, oh. And then guess what I did after that?
I don't know.
I
Treat.
went to the store, got me some flowers, some tulips
Nice.
for my garden. Yeah,
Lovely. See, you
yeah,
treat yourself.
I did. I was like,
Celebrated.
good
Celebrate.
job, Sonetta.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember your tip. Your tip was um, to treat yourself or to give like a you didn't say treat. Can't
I said
remember.
celebrate. I said celebrate.
Celebrate yourself. Yeah. So I did.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like woohoo balloons and big party.
Right.
It
Right.
can be something very. It can be a celebrate by just giving yourself a bath that you never give yourself time for. That's celebrating. You went and had your nails done. Ooh, let me have a look at those nails. They look lovely.
I had a mani and a pedi and
Lovely.
a massage.
Fantastic. See?
Yeah, it's taking some time, but because of your repetition of saying Zanetta, take a compliment. Zanetta, celebrate yourself.
Mhm.
Zanetta, so I'm hearing those things, and now instead of the gas lighting in my past that has manifested itself in to now, it's now slowly coming out. Coming going away, not coming out, going away. Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
all.
thank you. Yeah. So,
Thank you for
oh, yeah.
it actually does work. And for anyone
Yeah.
out there listening, I think this is really good for our listeners to know
Hmm.
that, you know, take take that time out to celebrate,
Yeah.
acknowledge yourself, do a happy dance, give yourself a smile, whatever it
Yeah.
is. Buy yourself
Yeah.
flowers if you're a lady. A
Right.
man, treat yourself to a new tie, pair of socks. I don't know, whatever
Yeah.
turns. I don't know what it is. Man, can be various things,
Yeah.
buy something
You
for
know,
your car,
yeah.
but something that's going to make you happy.
Yes. Like
And
my niece, Lael, we were chatting for a while. We were going back and forth, and we finally, kind of settled things down and came to like, okay, need to calm you down, need to bring you off the cliff. Come on, come over here on the safe side. Um, and then I told her, I said, so go ahead and get you a Starbucks because I know she loves Starbucks.
mm,
I said, go treat yourself with the Starbucks, and I want to see a selfie.
mm. And what can you get at Starbucks? I know they can get coffee and things, but
She
you get
has, I think they like frappuccinos, those cold
uh,
drinks. Yeah, yeah,
mhm,
she likes that. She's with child, so let
mhm.
her treat herself. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and she did. She sent me a picture, a selfie with her and her husband with the Starbucks.
Mhm.
Good
Yeah,
for you.
yeah,
Good for you.
that's what it's about. It's celebrating, and we should be celebrating every day.
Right. Right.
Shouldn't be, just chasing the dollar or, trying to please everybody else because, like you said, sooner or later, your body is going to talk to you.
It is. It is.
And
Because
it'll talk to you through that physical pain. It may be pain, illness. I mean,
it will.
you know,
Headaches,
yeah.
number one indicator, headaches or fatigue. Because when somebody is gaslighting you, they're trying to change the way you see yourself.
Mm,
So you have to ask yourself today, why are you depressed? Why do you have anxiety? Why do you have PTSD? Is it because of certain events, like PTSD can be like certain events, like being in a war. So that's those are events that'll trigger, or is it from an abusive? relationship. So you have to ask yourself today, are you still feeling that because of what was said? Is that how you see yourself now, or do you feel guilty? Um, uh, Maybe you didn't do things correctly. Maybe you should have said something differently. You know
Mm.
how we women are.
I know, I
Maybe
know.
if I would have cooked more.
Mm,
Maybe if I would have cleaned more. Maybe if I would have dressed more. Maybe if I would have kept my hair more. Maybe if I would have, maybe if I would have, you know, then he would have stayed. Then he would have, there's so many things that goes on in our head.
mhm,
And those are the things that are actually being gaslit. You don't cook like mom.
mm.
Gaslight.
That that's really, that's a bad one. That's one that's
Yeah,
I know I've heard before.
yeah,
And of course, you're right. I don't cook like her.
right. Because I'm
I
not your mama.
That's right. I can't expect me to cook like her. If you want a mama as a wife, then maybe marry your mama. I don't know. That sounds really
See, there
bad.
you go. That's how you respond back to
Mm,
the gaslighting. Um, and another thing to do is to talk. To talk to your friends that you trust. You know, how does this person make you feel? Like that one time you called me and you said something about somebody. You
what
said, "Let me ask you a question." I was so mad. I got so mad.
oh,
What
yeah.
is he trying to
Oh,
do?
yeah, no. I was like
Oh my
I
God.
I had to question myself. That day I was gaslit then, wasn't I?
Yes, you were. Oh my God, I was so mad.
But I had to, like, oh, it threw me off, and I was like, "Maybe it's me. Maybe I did do something." Like, yeah, you're absolutely right. I forgot about that. That wasn't
Yeah,
long ago, was it?
yeah.
And I'd never ring you for something like that. Like, I've never done that.
No. Yeah. Because you're so nice. You're really nice. And it's not that okay, let me rephrase this. You are a genuine nice human being.
Which
You really are. Genuinely. You are genuinely nice. So people have this tendency to gaslight you. And me, I'm like, I'm so glad you called me because I was like, what?
I know. You shook me up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just yeah, but talk to someone who you trust that will, show a perspective of who you really are.
Mm.
The person, like with Anitra, we never, just like Anitra, we never met. We've only met online, and we've talked over the phone, and we've done FaceTime. Not much, um, but I know her heart. I know her spirit. And then when she'll tell me something, I was like, "That's not you. That is not who you are."
Yeah.
So yeah, talk to someone that really has your back, supports you, and
Mm. Because what happens is, because I've experienced it several times, you're in the picture. You got to look at it that you're in the picture. It's like you're one of the characters playing in a play. So you can't see yourself. You can't
right.
see it from like third person removed. And it's hard to actually take yourself out. You've got to be quite trained to do that. And I
Hmm.
know I do that more now. You have to be conscious. But if you're
Yes.
not at that level, yes, like Zanetta said, ask a trusted friend, um,
Yeah.
share
See
your
what.
story, someone that you can trust that's quite neutral and, and also doesn't, know that other person or whatever, is very neutral and very grounded. And
Hmm.
you get the right answer. You're gonna get
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
yeah. Or another way of doing it too is, say, when you tell the story without you in the story. Use another character as,
Mm-hmm. Right.
replacing that you as the character is another person, another name. So when you're sharing your story, to whoever, it's very neutral. They don't know
Mm-hmm.
you, they don't know those two characters, but you're expressing it. And it also helps you by when you share that story like that, it helps you see it from third person removed as well, because you're telling
Yeah.
that story as a third person. So yeah, it's very helpful to do that. It's a good practice.
Yeah. And also to write it down. When you write it down, it
Yeah.
it does the brain is just so amazing. When things happen and then when you write it down, she said this, he said this, I said this, and this is what's was said, and and then when you reread it, because the brain thinks it's not a journal. The brain thinks it's information, because when we read, it's information. We were taught that as a kid, as growing up. Reading is fundamental. Reading is for information. So whenever you're reading your journal, after you have written it, it's now the brain now takes it as information and can decipher what is going on. Oh my God.
Right.
You've done it before. You have done it before. You wrote your book and then you turned around and read it, and then you said, I wrote this?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, whoa, it's a different perspective. The brain, it's
Mm,
just information. It's a different way to. So write it down, write things down, write how they happen, and it'll give you a different perspective. It's amazing what you write down and then you reread it, you have a different way of getting a solution,
mm,
um, or interpreting. Yeah.
yes. Tricky, isn't it? The
Yeah.
brain. Very,
Yes.
very tricky. So, gaslighting, the signs,
Mm-hmm.
the signs
Mm-hmm. Oh,
for those that don't know. I mean, really, there are people out there that don't know.
okay. So there's this beautiful thing called and I'm going to share it with you after. So after we do this live, I'm going to share something.
There's a really good book too I haven't read. I bought about narcissists as well, and I've got to.
Okay. Whoa. Okay, so here are 5 signs. Ooh. Okay, so gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse where one person manipulates another to make them doubt their own perceptions, memories, and sanity. The signs of gaslighting can include withholding information.
Mm.
The abuser may withhold information from the victim or give them false information to make them doubt their own memory and understanding of the events.
Wow.
Yeah,
False information, did you say?
false information. False information to make them doubt their own understanding of the events.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's huge because one time, a situation, yes, it sounds like it links to a narcissist. It is. It is. It is. So one of the individuals, um, an issue arose, and this issue was huge. And so I talked to the person who was the victim, talked to me, and I talked to the accused. The accused um, didn't say anything, didn't agree or disagree, didn't confirm or deny. So we went to the quote unquote victim. And as we're having this conversation, the victim shows proof. So I'm a third party. I see this. And so we're all having this conversation. So now me and the alleged accused, we're having conversation, and we agreed, okay, this is what we're going to do, to try to resolve this, because we need a resolution to this issue. Made a plan, and it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So we said, come early in the morning, let's get some sleep, and then we'll go ahead and proceed with the plan. Stefania, it was as if nothing happened. What are you talking about?
Oh, like you hadn't said anything. Like you didn't
Like
tell them.
last night didn't happen.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. That's not, no, we didn't know.
Mm. But was this on video? Was this on a video conference, or was this face to
In
face, person?
person.
Person. I was going to say, because sometimes it even pays to, record these, I guess, events. So when you're
How
dealing with,
I wish
yeah,
I would
because,
have known that back then.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, as if it didn't happen, as if there was no conversation, as if there was nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. I till this day I'm thinking, did it happen? And then my brain would say yes, because the following up, the preceding days, the conversation was still going, and there was some feedback from the conversation. So yes, it did happen.
And then what happened?
Oh, still, for if outside of me and the alleged victim, it never. There's she crazy.
Oh, wow.
So everybody from the outside, I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm the one who did.
Well, I guess they're in their own little world, aren't they? They're really,
Yeah, they create this whole world's whole, and let me tell you, believable story, believable story that people believe.
mm,
Yeah. And sad to say, some of my good so-called good friends, and I think they weren't really good friends, because the truth came out, and some came back to me and apologized.
right.
But
Some didn't. So they weren't good friends. Oh, I've had that happen.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So and then that's one of them, denial, blaming. They're blaming you. You're not compassionate enough. You don't understand. What else is blaming? If um, if you would have loved me more, if you would, if it's all on you, it's all you. You're the fault.
Or they can say, "Oh, it's always my fault." They turn into the victim, the
Oh
big victim.
yeah, yeah, that too. Either they're blaming you, they're blaming, oh,
Right.
I'm,
Especially if they know who they're dealing with, I think, in this case, because if they know they're dealing with a good person that's a softie, I'd say, and they know that it's like they know their password, they know if they push those buttons and, on that softie that they're gonna say, "No, it's not your fault,
hmm
I had something to do with it," or, they want pity, they want yeah, they just they know how to
oh yeah,
maneuver, they know how to play their cards.
hmm
Wow,
yeah,
pretty crazy stuff, isn't it?
it is crazy stuff. So, and the strange thing about this is that these type of people that gaslight all the time,
Mm,
they have a behavior that's it's a pattern. It's a pattern of
mm,
behavior. So
mm.
if you talk to one individual that knows the same individual, girl, they did that to me
Right,
too. You
exactly,
know, and then the same story that comes out of other people. Yeah.
right, and when someone has this repeated behavior, because that's what it is, and, they believe their own stories really, and they're not willing to change. Do you think too they don't even know they have a problem? Because obviously everyone else has the problem. They don't have the problem, right? So they're really not aware. And well, the sad part is they may be operating from their own trauma, from their own hurt, as a protection, as a you know, being on protective mode.
hmm
I'm not excusing them. I'm not excusing them, right? But they too could have formed these behavioral gaslighting behaviors as a survival mechanism for themselves because that's what was modeled to them. That was what was needed at a young age to survive, to
hmm
cope.
hmm
Um, so, what I'm saying is, you know, it depends on how close you are to this person. Sometimes we need to be straight up, blunt, honest, and catch them out on their own
Yes.
BS
Right.
and tell them there's something that's not right.
Right.
Get
Right.
some help.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the phrase, "You never help me."
You what? What's that from?
You never help me.
Oh, yeah.
You never understand me. You never. So there's a whole bunch of hyperbole. You never, you always.
Please. Yep.
Those are just. But here's my take on. Yes, I do agree that the people that gaslight, that have a pattern of behavior, got it because of some uh, traumatic events in their life, and they are in survival mode and they're in protective mode. So they're doing damage to somebody else before somebody else does damage to them. So that is understandable. There is a however. There's a however that there comes a time in a person's life where you meet up with yourself and
Yeah.
you see yourself, whether you want to be a better person or a bitter person. So I guess for those that continue to do it and don't want to change,
Mm.
I would lean towards narcissist. They're because they just believe what they're saying. They believe whatever lies or um, whatever toxic, you know, whatever toxicity that they're giving out. They believe it. They're just toxic themselves, so they're going to spew out toxicity. Um, but for those that are still in survival mode, I can't say without a shadow of a doubt or totally 100% agree that they don't know they're gaslighting people.
Oh, they know. They know. They
Yeah.
know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because when you hurt somebody's heart or when you crush somebody's heart, you know it because your heart was crushed too.
Yeah. But like you said, it could be then bordering
Yeah.
narcissistic behaviors or
Yeah.
characteristics that you just
Yeah.
treat and don't
There's
care.
this there it, regardless of how much what kind of environment we lived in, what kind of environment we grew up in, what kind of role models we have, there is this innate goodness in all of us.
Mm,
And that innate goodness in all of us, which is, I call it, the Spirit of God. That's me, because I believe um, that that spirit will let you know. It'll quicken you. It'll tell you. Now you know you were wrong for that. It will tell you quickly that you said that wrong. You know you hurt that person's feelings. You need to go apologize. There's a quickening. There's this instant. But if you don't listen to that, or you start saying, huh, they deserve it, now you're getting into narcissistic. Now you're going that way. But I believe that there is goodness in all of us because we are created by God.
absolutely.
And so we have to come to the point of becoming better instead of becoming bitter.
Hmm.
So that's where, yeah, you can only do that but so much until people just start to push you away or realize what you're really doing or who you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely. I agree. I totally agree. So, for those people that weren't sure what the meaning of gaslighting was or is, or, gaslit, now you do.
Mm-hmm.
Now you do. And I love
Yeah.
that story where it came from. And I think we should all, be aware of how we speak, whether it be to others or to ourselves, and, be accountable. Because the power of words are just, they can either build you up or
Or
crush you
tear
down.
you down.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like you said, do you want to be better or bitter? The option is there, right? And
Right.
it's, yeah, I mean, the ego really gets in the way there, but, where we have to apologize, we have to take responsibility, accountability, just people think they're going to die if they're actually going to communicate something like an apology or it wasn't intentional. This was my intention. Because really, once you do that, that's the thing. Once you take responsibility and own that, that's so freeing. That's what people don't
Yes.
understand. And you don't have to die. You don't
No,
have to die. You don't have to.
not at all.
Then it's like you've put it out there, how that other person's going to take it, because you've got to do it without expectation, because that other person may not accept your apology. And
Hmm.
that's okay too.
Right.
Right? It maybe they're dealing with their issues, so
Right.
they're not accepting. It's got nothing to do with you. You've done your bit.
Right.
You've done your bit. You wanna be better, you don't wanna be bitter, and, the great quote from Nelson Mandela, I keep repeating that, is like, when you're angry and you hold resentment towards someone, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. You're drinking the poison, that
Mm.
bitterness, that
Yeah.
resentment, all that poison you are swallowing and keeping it in your body, and yet you holding all that anger towards the other person, expecting them to have a hard time.
Hmm.
It's not gonna happen.
Right.
You are going to have the hard time. Um, yeah, so wow, so true. Learning that every day, Zanetta. I am,
Hmm.
I am.
I think Mandela got that from Confucius, and I think Confucius got that from Buddha.
Oh, really? Because when I've read it Nelson Mandela's quote. So,
Yeah,
um,
they do quote, Mandela in saying that, but the original, I believe
is
the
it
original is Confucius.
Confucius? There you go.
Yeah.
And then Buddha. Did you say Buddha? What was the other one?
Yeah, so I think Confucius is the original, but
Uh,
supposedly it came from Confucius and then Buddha. I mean, Confucius got it from Buddha, but
Buddha.
yeah, but Confucius have a lot of those kind of sayings, because I had to study Confucius during my college days.
Yeah. Fun, fun,
Yeah, yeah,
fun. Well, this has been an very interesting conversation.
it
We've
has, it
just gone over an
has.
hour like we normally do. It's been, yeah, an eye opener. And I hope everyone out there has, you know, taken something away from this, and don't underestimate some of the things that, have been said to us, or we say unconsciously to others,
Right.
because we could be very well gaslighting others. And and I think too, gaslighting may not only be verbal. Just want to say that it can also be body language. We can gaslight someone with our eye movements, cues, our
Mm-hmm.
body language, or just turning our backs, or
Right.
silent treatment, and you may be just busy attending to something. So there's nothing wrong saying, "Look, I can't give you too much attention right now. I'm in the middle of something. Let me call you back," or communicate, communicate,
Mm-hmm.
communicate.
Yes,
The key. Communication is king. That's what
it
I keep.
is.
Communication is king.
It is. It is indeed.
So thank you, Zanetta, for that topic this week. That was a
Yes,
great topic. I see you did quite a bit of research.
I did because I needed to know.
Something happened, obviously. Usually, well, not always, but sometimes we
Well, I've been hearing it, and
through the week and then, right, this is a great topic to talk about. Let's talk about it.
yeah, I didn't know the actual in-depth meaning of gaslight. So, to gaslight someone. So I had to do some research. I had to look it up. I was like, oh my God, I've been gaslighting people and I didn't even know it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, oh, Nicole, I can't wait to watch the replay. Yeah.
I know.
We have to schedule you now. Um, but yeah, I didn't know that I was gaslighting other people, through my research and through my looking up, what is gaslighting. But I did not know it came from the movie in 1944. Can you believe that terminology? Um, uh, Actually, the terminology gaslight was back in the 1800s.
Wow.
It went up in 1944. It became, one of the phrases, and then it revived again to today. That, oh, you're being gaslit. I'm like, what is gas? What? What? I'm a foreigner. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, in the literal sense, it is. It's like someone putting a flame to you and blowing you up, and you don't have a chance to respond.
I mean, but if you, so me thinking gaslight, gaslighting, um, somebody's lighting up your fire for you. You see
You're
how I'm looking at it totally different?
positive. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm like, oh, thank you for lighting my gas lantern. Thank you. You know.
No, I would say in that case, I usually say someone's just, you're having your feathers fluffed.
Oh, feathers fluff is totally different from gaslighting, though.
Exactly, but I'm saying you're looking at it as someone's lighting you up in a positive
Yeah.
way. Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So I would say, well, someone's lighting you up by fluffing your feathers, making you feel good, like just putting you on the spotlight, making shining the light on you.
Yeah. Yeah. Gaslight. Yeah. Yeah. See, I was looking at it a positive way.
Correct. Yeah, I get it.
So,
And what I'm
so
saying is, I would say, rather than saying that, like, because I would say, if I'm trying to fluff someone's feathers, I'm trying to boost them up, I'm trying to pep them up. But
yeah.
anyway, I don't
But
know if
gaslight, I,
well, we know now exactly. It's it's putting the torch on you and blowing you up.
mm-hmm. Yeah. See, came from a play. It's a movie, 1944. Yep. That's where it came from. But the terminology has been around since 1800s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Play and
It's amazing as to what you do a research on, and it's really amazing. Yeah. To yeah. See, I told you. You'll see it on the replay. We talked about it. Um, yeah. So that's there's a lot of phrases for gaslighting, and we really do need to mind what we say. We need to be intentional and productive, um, and to build in whenever we're talking to someone, or whenever we're um, saying something.
mm.
Phrases. I know I tell my niece all the time, she's spoiled. She is. She's spoiled. But I'm not gaslighting her. She's spoiled.
Yeah. You just remind that she's got a good life.
Throws a tantrum when she doesn't get it. Get her way.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah. Well, thank you, Stefania.
No, thank you, Zanetta. I look forward to catching up with you and everyone else. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
We look forward to, you know, having our show on again next week with
Yes.
fun, fresh Fridays. And there's some
Friday.
fun bits
Yes.
there with Zanetta, Nicole.
Yes.
Threw some fun things in there.
I did. So, for those of you that are going to be watching on replay, hashtag replay.
Hashtag replay, hashtag live. If you're on now live, we want to see that live.
Yay. And
Yay.
for those of you that are trolls,
Yes. Hashtag troll.
oh, I like that. Hashtag troll. Yes, I like that. Hashtag troll.
Excuse
All
me.
right. Yeah.
We love you. We love you.
Yes. All right. Well, what is your takeaway, Stefania?
Well, my takeaway is that, well, about the 1944, I think that was a big takeaway for me. Um, my takeaway is, if we're on the receiving end, to be mindful, be conscious, be aware, without judgment, but know how to navigate through it.
Hmm.
And like we said, just be um, asking those right questions, putting it back on them without engaging in their energy, because
Hmm.
that's where it's a delicate dance that you have to do that, or walk away, like you said, don't make it, it's not about you. Know your truth,
Right.
because when you know your truth, you really can't be gaslit, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but what really, I guess is something to pay attention to, was like a wow, is it starts off with this slow manipulation, then it becomes, um, a brainwash to a mental condition to a physical condition, and that's sad. That's,
That
when you
is.
get to that, I'm not saying that it's too late. It's never too late. You can reverse all that programming because that's what's been happening. You've been
Right.
programmed that you can reverse that programming. It just takes time and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the willingness and remember who you are, where you came
Right.
from.
Right.
Ultimately, your love. We're all love, and we all came from there. We've just, been conditioned or we're allowed ourselves just because we didn't know any other way, and we're being programmed. So the way they programmed us, we can be reprogrammed.
Reprogrammed.
Yeah,
Yes.
like a computer. We don't like a program, we delete it, put another program in.
Right.
We can do that ourselves and
Yeah.
just let go of the stories, let go of the emotions. Just it's only a story.
Right.
We can change our story. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was my takeaway. It was a lot of takeaways.
That was the whole show.
I know. I just like recap the whole show. I know, Nicole, you don't need to watch the show anymore. So the whole show was a big takeaway.
I'm sorry, I gaslit you.
Get me up. Oh my God, that's too funny.
I
And
had no intentions. It was just for fun. It was for
you did it with
fun.
love. It's okay.
Yes, I did.
It felt warm.
Yeah. It was for fun. It was for fun.
Oh, that's too
Yeah.
funny. It's too funny. Guess she's come to join me. I have to get her to say hello.
Hello,
Lucy!
Lucy. Hello.
Lucy, say hi.
Hi,
Hello, Mama.
Bye. Yes.
Magistan to start facendo
Yes.
Ecco, sì.
Yes, we're on the show.
Ecco,
She goes,
no.
Oh,
she goes, am I on the show? I said, yes, you're on the show. But she can't see her. She's just washed her hair and I'm about to blow wave it for her. That's why she's
oh.
so she's not coming on because her hair's not done.
Oh, she's beautiful. Mama's always beautiful.
Yes, she is, but not now. You'll get to say hello to her in a minute, Zanetta. But you get to
Uh,
see Lucy. How
Hi,
about that?
Lucy. Hi. Hello, Lucy. Oh, look at you.
Yeah,
Look at you. She's like, I'm with my mom now.
I know. She's the princess, aren't you,
Yes.
darling? You're the princess. All right. So let's wrap it up, Zanetta. Yeah,
Yes. Yes, yes. So, good to be back.
it is good
Yeah,
for that.
good to be back. Yes. So we will be back next week, same time, same place.
Mhm.
Until next time.
We send you love. We send you
Oh, yes. Look, I was getting look. I didn't want to gaslight any. No. Okay, we sent you love.
and we send you passion. So does
Bye for
Lucy.
now. Until
Bye.
next week.
Bye-bye.